A watchdog group that keeps an eye on government spending has some specific and bound to be controversial ideas for cutting hundreds of millions of dollars from New Mexico's budget.
While some of the ideas may seem far-fetched at first glance, it's obvious that something has to give if Governor-elect Susana Martinez wants to balance the budget without raising taxes or cutting spending on Medicare or K-12 education. Here's News 13's Jim Winchester.
Diane, the first of what will likely be many proposals for specific budget cuts is being floated around. We do know this: whatever Governor-elect Martinez does, there will be some angry people.
But it's time to talk turkey. It's time to talk specifics.
The Rio Grande Foundation, a conservative political think tank, just released this report. It recommends more than $285 million in cuts. It says the biggest savings, $135 million, could be found by doubling tuition at the state's colleges and by closing some branch campuses. It calls for doing away with 4,000 state jobs, the majority of which are vacant right now, and changing a law to reduce the pay rate for public works projects to save $80 million. Then there are a couple of more popular targets, like shutting down the Rail Runner altogether to save $20 million a year.
Any system that relies on such a high proportion of taxpayer subsidy for its daily operation needs to be considered on the chopping block.
Rail Runner says the state only kicks in $6 million for operations. The rest comes from federal funds and a tax passed by voters.
It's very minute, and the fact that it comes from federal funds that are designated for this type of project, I think a lot of people are just unaware.
The report recommends capping the tax breaks for the film industry to bring in another $30 million to the state.
It's wrong to take money from you and I to give to another business out of our pocket.
But Governor Richardson's office today said such a proposal would cost 10,000 New Mexicans their jobs at a time when the state can't afford to lose any. Finally, the report recommends letting hundreds of minor drug offenders out of prison, putting them on ankle monitors and in treatment to save $13 million.
These are tough cuts. They're moving forward, though. They're things that we think are realistic.
The Rio Grande Foundation acknowledges they may not make many friends with some of their suggestions, but that it's important to be talking about them right now. Diane, back to you.
Okay, Jim. Now, another group called We Are New Mexico, which is a more liberal-leaning think tank, says it'll soon announce its specific proposals to balance the state's budget.
There may not